Welcome to Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show on YouTube. Down there is the man, Mike Merc, the man in the middle, Mr. Stefano. And my name is Devon. We appreciate you guys tuning in each and every Tuesday for brand new content. Hopefully you guys are liking everything we are dishing out to you. If you made it this far in the video, 10 seconds, give us a like, a subscribe, pass it on to all your wrestling friends. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. All right, so we had a little bit of time now to digest WrestleMania 40 in Philly. It just absolutely phenomenal spectacle, crazy. We get to breathe a little bit. Good, bad, and the ugly. We want to know what you guys think. First, the good. What do you guys think of WrestleMania 40?
Well, I think probably the good of WrestleMania is that wrestling's cool again.
It is, yeah.
You saw with the Pat McAfee relationship, you saw Triple H on Friday, you saw Cody and R-Truth on his show on Monday. Rhea Ripley was on the Friday.
Wrestling is everywhere, at the forefront.
That's great. I mean, the mainstream Rock and Roman Reigns on the Tonight Show
Yes.
leading into Mania, that you haven't really seen that since maybe the Monday Night Wars, where wrestling seemed really buzzworthy and a part of pop culture, and I enjoy that very much. I'm always going to enjoy wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. The good. What did you think, Stefano?
To state the obvious, I think the best part was Cody finally finishing his story. I don't know too many people. I mean, there's a few diehard Bloodline fans who wanted to see it go on for much longer, but I think 95% of the people were like, really behind Cody. It was really cool to see. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the build-up. I enjoyed the seeds of doubt that were planted. Could Cody pull it off against all odds? And that's what a babyface is supposed to do: overcome insurmountable odds, fight against everything, and still come out. That's what it boils down to in a nutshell: is good versus evil, and good eventually triumphs in the end. I'm not trying to sound too sappy, but I really enjoyed the Cody Rhodes story, and very much looking forward to what's next from him.
Yeah, I think that's part of the thing too, is the longevity of storytelling. I don't think you could get away with that on every, everybody's got a story, a program in wrestling. But this one, they really drew it out. They made you, like, they had the peaks and the valleys with it, and the big payoff at Mania. Was Cody getting the big W, which is awesome. I think that was the good part for me, is the positive energy. Cody winning, having it felt like, what WrestleMania was that, where Luger and Hart all came out and put, they had him up on his shoulder and stuff like that. So it was very reminiscing of that. So I think the positive energy, everybody knew that it was going to happen, but yet there was still that little bit of a doubt of like, oh man, are they going to make us wait a little bit more? But I'm glad the way it all played out. I think it was perfect. Super happy for Cody that he got that moments with his mom, his family, and his friends and everything. I thought it was fantastic. Overall, it just made you feel good in general. Like you said, as a wrestling fan, you're like, yes, like, I watch this, I love it, I support it, and I'm glad that people are coming back, out of the woods to watch it again and say, I'm going to give it a shot and see where this goes from here. The bad, unfortunately, there might have been some bad. Any bad from WrestleMania 40?
Very little bad. I think the bad was Devon's prediction of the Motor City Machine Guns.
From the group maybe a little bit. So Awesome Truth is going to grab the Raw titles. And then I'm going to throw in a little swerve on who's going to grab the SmackDown titles. Yeah, I'm going to say the team is not on here. I think Machine Guns. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, I think, are going to show up on Mania here, much like the Hardys did about 7 years ago. And I think they're going to capture the SmackDown Tag Team titles in this one.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I did not do good on that.
No, that WWE is about rewarding their talent for hard work, and I can't remember the last time someone debuted on Mania.
Sure.
So that's the night after Mania is up for grabs, but you've seen a lot of people debut at Royal Rumble and some of the other pay-per-views, but Mania is its own thing. Very, very little
Yeah,
bad.
and I don't know if you can even count the Hardys as debuting, like re-debuting maybe a
Right.
couple of years back. I mean, that pop was just insane when the New Day announced them. But you're right with that. It was total gamble on the Motor City Machine Guns, but maybe next year I will be better with that. The bad Stefano. Anything that sticks out in your mind for that?
I won't say there was anything bad. The worst part of the whole WrestleMania deal was that I wasn't on the preview show.
Oh,
Once again,
shit.
jealousy amongst my peers rearing its ugly head. Somehow you guys conspired to keep me off the WrestleMania preview. I did not get to make my predictions, but I'll give them anyway. I got each and every single match right.
Oh, shocking.
I have it written down at home. I will bring in my evidence the next time, but I was 14-0. 14-0.
Interesting.
But there was nothing bad from the actual matches themselves. I thought everything was at least good. But it's just a shame that I work with people that are filled with jealousy because I'm so talented. I'm so handsome. You guys are so jealous that you try to keep me off of as many shows as possible. And I think you guys need to be more professional like me.
All right. The bad, I would have to just say, like, it's probably a little bit of a stretch, would be the weather. I think the night one where Michael Cole constantly gave us weather updates saying it's cold here, it's cold here. In my mind, us being from the Midwest, we're like, yeah, it's outdoors. It's like, what do you expect almost? It's not very springy there. If you're maybe in Florida or the Georgia, Texas area or something like that, outdoors in the Northeast, I mean, that's a gamble, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't. You have to think that some of these East Coast outdoor football stadiums are going to be off the opportunity list for hosting a future Mania.
Yeah, I wonder if they learned their lesson at all. Like, if you'll never see that again. I don't know.
Well, it could have been a lot worse.
True.
What if they would have got a freak nor'easter
Yeah.
that time, which does happen that time? Can you imagine a blizzard or in the middle of WrestleMania? It would have made things extremely interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, what did they call that? The Rain Mania with Samoa Joe when he was announcing out there. Like, it's bound to happen at some time, but hopefully not. But all right, WrestleMania 40 definitely had its ups and downs. Was there anything that was ugly to you guys about WrestleMania 40? Or you can do a hard pass.
No, there was very little that was ugly. I much like I didn't think there was anything bad. The closest thing I would say to ugly, and the closest thing to a disappointing match on the show, just because I had such high expectations, was Jimmy and Jey Uso.
Yep.
And I did expect Jey to win. However, I was kind of hoping maybe that wouldn't happen. Maybe especially with Cody going over, you've got an extra heel built up in Jimmy if to go off that, or Solo gets involved.
Sure.
And then there's a rematch. Maybe the rematch is in a cage or in a Hell in a Cell or some type of stipulation. The story they told, I get it. It's the, hey, I don't want to fight you. You're my brother. Those guys can go. Everybody, from some of the things we've done where we've worked with guys like Rhino and Eric Rowan, they all say Usos are their favorite opponents to wrestle with. And I just expected more.
Yeah, well, it was the same too. I picked the Usos as the match stealer, the match of the night, and I probably missed on that one as well. So, any ugly for you, Mr. Stefano?
There's nothing that jumps out. Becky Lynch, I know she was sick.
Yes, that was brought to our attention. Yes, she had strep throat, I believe it was, high fever, over 100.
The only ugly I'll say about that, and it has nothing to do with how she did. She did great. It was the announce team constantly saying that she had been sick all week, almost like giving her the excuse so that when Rhea won, I think that might have taken something away from Rhea's victory because, Becky was sick. Oh, Becky had 102-degree fever. Oh, Becky was sick all week. Well, Rhea Ripley's dominant, and she is killing it. She's doing great.
Ain't no shame in that game.
I thought they shouldn't have mentioned that Becky was sick. I thought it took away a little from Rhea's victory. well, hindsight's always 2020.
So I'm going to put you guys out on the spot on this. So like previously when Vince McMahon was there, we know that a lot of people were, he was in the ear hole of Michael Cole and the other announcers saying, say this, with the weather being repeated a lot, with Becky's, how she was feeling was repeated a lot. Do you think somebody was in their ear hole telling them to say that, or it's just all natural? They just kind of said it, but they just happened to say it too much.
I'm glad you brought that up. I do think there was somebody in the earpiece because more than just one guy said it.
Yeah.
If it comes from one announcer, that's usually that announcer's thoughts. When all the announcers are touching on it,
yes,
that's
point.
because it's a point of emphasis.
Right. There you go. One of the highlights, the good things, whether you're a fan of him or not, Damian Priest held on to the Money in the Bank briefcase for quite some time. A lot of people didn't know if he was ever going to cash that in. The Money in the Bank briefcase, the men had 24 attempts, 19 successful cash-ins, where the women are a perfect 6 for 6 according to our producer. So hopefully that is correct. Damian Priest cashing in on Drew McIntyre. He got his little WrestleMania moments thanks to CM Punk as well. Damian Priest, the new heavyweight champion on Raw. Do you have any favorites? We're reminiscing here a little bit. Money in the Bank briefcase cash-ins. Anything that sticks out to you in particular?
I think the thing about Money in the Bank is it's anticipation. It's building that anticipation. Sometimes you've seen wrestlers tease cash-ins. And I'd say one build-up that I was very, very excited for, and thankfully they delivered, was the Big E cash-in.
Yes.
And that's recent history. Like I think the Austin Theory losing a United States title match, that's
strange.
That's rotten.
Yeah.
Like that's like a waste of a lot of time. But Big E deserved it. You saw how happy the locker room was for him.
Yep.
And he looked ready and poised for a long run. He's in a good place with his life and neck and everything else. But when that happened, I was pumped.
Yeah, absolutely. Favorite cash-in moment for Stefano?
Well, I like the original Edge.
Oh,
when
Edge.
when the original Money in the Bank, when he cashed it in on John Cena. I liked that, but I'll tell you what, I thought the way Damian Priest did his cash in, I thought it was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. CM Punk, the look on his face when he sees him coming down and he knows what's like, that was cool.
They caught all the emotion with
all of it.
Drew winning to losing to Punk to Priest coming down and people in the audience, like, it was just
how great is that line by Drew McIntyre as he's holding the title in Punk's face, squatting on the table. Hey, get here! I want to picture this so I can blow it up and put it on my wall.
Yeah.
And like WWE has done a better job too of accentuated storylines where you saw Drew tweet or on X he put out the message of thanks UPS for losing my clothes.
Yep.
Hey Punk, since you're not working this weekend, can I borrow yours?
Sure, yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, and then Drew, did he do that at Mania where he was like bored at work and stuff?
Yes.
And so it was just brilliant done. My favorite one is going back to 2013 where Dolph Ziggler cashed in on the WrestleMania after Raw, or the Raw after WrestleMania, I should say, on Alberto Del Rio. The ovation that Ziggler got after hitting the zigzag on there was just off the charts good. I mean, never heard anything like that at all. Unfortunately, Dolph lost it back to Del Rio like 2 months later.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, you had it all right there. You take it away. This guy's a workhorse. The crowd was behind him. A lot of cool moments for sure. If there's anything out there that you guys enjoyed with a Money in the Bank briefcase cash-in, whether it's Seth Rollins doing it or Carmella cashing in back in the day, let us know your favorite moment in the comments. Of course, Damian Priest became the second person only ever to cash in at WrestleMania. Who was the first one?
I know, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins was, yeah. So Damian Priest in a small category there. He's actually the first champion of the Puerto Rican descent. First ever since Pedro Morales in 1973. So shout out to Damian Priest. I think there's going to be a lot of good things headed his way for sure. All right. Well, we are going to send it to an interview. Mr. Stefano here recently got to catch up with his old buddy, Ken Anderson, Ken Kennedy. The interview starts right now. Check it out.
Hello, I'm Angelo Stefano from Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, and today my special guest for this video is none other than Ken Anderson.
What's up, peeps?
Ken, I have some hard-hitting questions the people want to know. How come you never beat me in Madden?
Because I fucking hate Madden. Okay, can I swear? Probably not, huh? Probably not. Sorry.
Well, whoever edits this can edit that out. You know, we try to be professional here, but I don't have a problem with it. Next hard-hitting question. Who was the greatest roommate that you ever had? That's a good answer. Everyone should know it was me, although you did drink my beer. Now, who can drink more beer back in the day, me or you? For all those that don't know, he was pointing to me, which means me. Next hard-hitting question. That's not wrestling related because people want to know a little bit about the personal lives of entertainers and wrestlers. What movie would you have loved to have been in if you could be in any movie ever?
Pulp Fiction. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Or Natural Born Killers.
Both really good choices. Yeah. What's your favorite band?
Favorite band of all time, Motley Crue. Have you ever seen them in concert?
No.
I saw them a long time ago for the Generation Swine tour. And then a couple years ago, they were touring with Alice Cooper. So I saw them. And have you seen the videos of Vince Neil recently?
I have. Not impressive.
I witnessed it. And I remember like telling people about it for the longest time. And I think everybody thought I was crazy, but like then these videos started surfacing of him. He kind of says words that, or he just mumbles words or sounds that kind of sound like the words of the song, but yeah, it's terrible.
Okay. Now for the next segment, we're going to go to choose. I'll give you two options. You choose which one.
Okay.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Milk or tea?
Tea.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Football or baseball?
Football.
Golf or tennis?
Golf.
Movie at a drive-in theater or movie in a normal theater?
Normal theater. Because I like to kick back in those recliners.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes, it absolutely does.
Okay.
Pickles also belong on pizza.
Okay, let's not get crazy now. Pickles on pizza, I think the general public will agree with me. That's a no-go.
Have you tried it?
Can't
you should try it.
Can't say that I have.
You should try it. It'll change your life.
Okay. Baked chicken or roasted chicken?
Roasted chicken.
Would you inform the people that don't know, maybe they're not from Wisconsin, what roasted chicken really is?
It's like deep fried, but they like pressure cook it, right? Like they pressurize the pot of fat and just like force all the oil into every pore.
And it's
it
good.
Is one of the most delicious things you'll ever eat in your life.
Okay.
It's not very healthy for you. But.
No, it's not. And as a connoisseur of roasted chicken, I can tell you we just don't care because it's too good.
I don't think I've had roasted chicken since I lived with you.
Okay. Do you obey the proper speed limits when you drive?
I do, actually. Yep.
A car is not a toy. That's the absolute right answer.
No, I do. I obey the speed limit. And if somebody like comes up on me and they're acting like an idiot, I just like let them go by. I don't get pissed. Okay. I used to kind of get road rage, and it's not worth it.
Read a book or watch the movie?
Oh, I'd say nowadays watch the movie.
Okay.
But I do enjoy a lot of good books.
Daytime or nighttime?
Nighttime.
Sunset or sunrise?
Sunrise, actually.
Okay. And what's your favorite food on the planet?
Favorite food on the planet? Have you ever had birria tacos?
No.
They're like these dipping tacos. You get like a broth that you dip the tacos in. It'll change your life. Kind of like the pickles on the pizza. Life-changing experience. Anastasia and I were like addicted to these tacos. We would get them like 2 or 3 times a week.
Do you mind if I pass gas?
Go ahead, do what you gotta do.
Okay, and that wraps it up. Thanks for joining me, Mr. Anderson.
Anderson.
And thanks for watching out there in YouTube land.
All right, thanks Stefano for that interview with Ken Anderson. That was awesome. Always learning stuff with that guy. He's just one of a kind, one of the boys. Appreciate him as much as anybody else. Yes, yeah, right, that too. Ken is going to continue on with some pro wrestling trivia. Do you know the answer to this?
You can make an argument for so many wrestlers to be on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. I would cast one of those votes for The Undertaker. How many times has The Undertaker been the WWE or WWF champion?
All right. Do you know the answer? Ken Anderson trivia. Drop it in the comments. Let us know what you think it is. All right. That about does it for Ultimate Wrestling Trivia, the show on YouTube. We come at you each and every Tuesday. You can find us on all social media platforms. We're on X. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're all over the place. Search Ultimate Wrestling Trivia plus Pro Wrestling Tees. We got those t-shirts available. Make sure you check them out. Ultimate Wrestling Trivia. That is Mike Merc. This is Mr. Stefano. And I am Devon. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Ultimate Wrestling Trivia.